birthday present to ex-wife. Gather round, lads and girls, for it's time to hear about my unfaithful ex-exploits, wives, as well as how I her. Please bear with me, since this is going to be a long post, but I'm not going to waste my time. As a result, I had a strong suspicion that she was cheating, since she had generated so many red flags. When I inquired as to why she was laughing and smiling so much while texting, she said that it was all her mother's fault. Every evening after work, I was required to stay late. When I contacted, her employees informed me that she had already left the building hours ago. In response to my inquiries, she would giggle and explain that it was something they performed on a regular basis in their place of employment. She left the home around 11:30 p.m. to go grab milk, and she didn't return until 2 a.m., which was the last straw for my wife. In my years of experience, there is one piece of advice I can provide to people. Hire a private investigator if you have reason to believe your partner is cheating on you. The fact that they are so incredibly good at what they do ensures that they will gather some evidence that will be quite valuable in the future divorce. Consider her upcoming birthday, which will be celebrated in a few months' time. Why did I wait months before addressing her? And why did it have to be on her birthday? I understand what you're thinking. When it comes to the first question, the truth is that I was attempting to collect as much evidence as I possibly could to submit to my lawyer while simultaneously making arrangements to relocate to a different location, among other things. Naturally, the answer to your second question is that it will be on her birthday. In response to my inquiry as to what she wanted to do for her birthday this year, she insisted on my taking her out of town with my friends since she had to work and didn't want to be reminded that she was growing older. So when I discovered a bottle of champagne and 2 champagne glasses hidden in my closet, I realized something wasn't quite right. So I do what any normal man would do. I do what I think is right. In order to get out of town, I go to a friend's house and tell him I'm leaving town. While I'm there, I call her mother, father, sister, and a slew of her friends to let them know I'm there. I tell them about my plans to surprise her by sneaking into her room with party streamers, kazoos, and a giant cake decorated with candles on her birthday. Isn't it fascinating to think about? That was a great deal of pleasure. It's 8:30 a.m., and I've assembled everyone in front of our apartment building's entrance. She and her mother bring the cake into the elevator, and I beg everyone to be as quiet as possible, as we all get into the elevator, around 8 of us. After I enter my key and unlock the door, we all slip in and make our way down the hall towards the bedroom, where I leave my belongings. Each child is holding a kazoo, and Mom is grinning from ear to ear during the performance. Surprise! We all cry as I throw open the door with both hands. After a moment or two, my wife arrived, bending down in a doggy position, her lover staring at us wide-eyed in the midst of the push. Mom spills the cake her sister, and her father begins to scream in frustration. I pretend afraid, and her friends try to force everyone out the door while yelling obscenities at me. After a few minutes of tears and exclamations of "how could I?" the lover rushes out the door and tries desperately to pull his pants on before abandoning the scene. In any case, it was one of the most memorable birthday presents I'd ever given, and it made me feel great. Story 2. Partner has been cheating, found out after our baby was born. Background: my boyfriend, 27M, and I, 26F, have been together since we were 16/17, high school sweethearts. This year marks the 10th anniversary of their marriage. I say this while still in the midst of the crisis because he was my soulmate, and I've known this for the previous several years, when we first decided to start trying for a kid. It took me a year and a lot of tears, but I eventually became pregnant. Unfortunately, I gave delivery at 22 weeks gestation, and our son died as a result of his preterm birth. This was obviously traumatic for both of us, and he took it especially hard because he desperately wanted a baby and had begged me for one for years. Fast forward a year and a half later, and we welcomed another healthy baby after a really rough, anxiety-filled, medication/medical intervention-filled pregnancy. I couldn't have asked for a greater partner or father after the loss, throughout pregnancy, and the first 3 months of parenting our child. To be honest, he treats me like a queen, and I picture the remainder of our lives together. I used his phone about 2 weeks ago to play music or whatever, and pulled down to look for an app, iPhone, and Siri offered most used website as Chatterate. I thought that was strange, but we had previously discussed porn, and he had said that he loves genuine porn rather than actors, so I let it go, kind of. A few days later, my curiosity got the best of me, and I went to the website, saw the layout, and was perplexed as to why he would utilize this platform. As a visitor, you don't see anything, so I assumed he had an account. I knew his email and most of his passwords. Since we're open with each other, I reasoned, and tried to get in. I honestly expected to uncover a kink or fetish, but all I found was average things. Boy with girl, and so forth. Satisfied with my discovery, I decided to hide my tracks by checking to see whether the website had sent him an email when I signed in, so I checked his inbox and found everything. There are a lot of receipts for Chatterbait, Mifricams, and OnlyFans. I assumed he had a porn addiction at best, but then I discovered a 60-something email exchange with a lady setting up and thanking for in his archives. My skin was scorching hot at this time, so I woke him up and questioned him about it, more like shouted, but that's semantics. He originally pretended to be stupid, but when he saw I had worked it out, he confessed to everything, maybe. He admits to utilizing Locanto escort services for favors 5 times. Each time, it was a different female, although one was chosen twice because she was lovely. He also told me about how he got a BJ from a strange chick at a party. This burns me more than anything. This began in late 2017 or early 2018 and lasted for a time. The primary thing that makes my stomach turn is that we were trying to become pregnant at the time most of this was going on. To clarify, he desired and requested a child. He informed me that when we lost our first child, he felt that the world was punishing him and that he tried to quit. He realized he couldn't quit cold turkey, so he began receiving intimate massages and going home to the thought of being touched. But it ended when I was pregnant with our second child, and it hasn't been the same since. He was presumably absolutely honest with me and informed me of all instances of adultery, but who knows? He claimed it had nothing to do with me, which is a classic, and just blamed himself. It was self-loathing and self-hatred, he said, and he couldn't believe that someone, me, could be drawn to him. He also blames his upbringing and lack of love, and when I turned him down for other things, I despise hugging, it would irritate him and cause him to behave out. Every time he cheated, it was just transactional and had no emotional value. He's not a weirdo who texts every girl they see or checks out women whenever he gets the opportunity. He treats me like a goddess and believes the light shines out of my. So why is this so strange to me? He wants to receive therapy because he understands what he was doing was wrong, and in retrospect, he acknowledges it was disgusting. I'm not sure why, but my foolish brain has already forgiven him for the physical. I simply don't get the sneaking, lying, and the fact that he could come home to me, tell me he loves me, kiss me, touch me, and try/fail to have a kid with me. Also, he can come to me and tell me he was battling with thoughts like these, not feeling beautiful, which may have been prevented if we had tweaked our love languages. Now my judgment is clouded, and I'm not sure if I'm staying with him, because we have a baby together and I need the support, or if I legitimately love him and want to stay together for healthy reasons, rather than because I don't want to be a single mother and believe no one will ever love/find me attractive again. Looking for comparable tales and results, as well as suggestions for future actions, for both of us as a pair or individually. Is it worthwhile to pursue this relationship? There is still a lot of love between us, and I can't imagine my life without him, but will I ever be able to go on? If you've read this far, I'm pleased you've remained with me. Phew.